Welcome to Ruger Tech Tips. This is a tech tip to help you get the most performance out of your Ruger-57 accessory threaded barrel kit. Notice I have the disassembled Ruger-57 in front of me. There's no ammunition on the table. To see how to disassemble your pistol, you can refer to our other videos. I have here the Ruger-57 threaded barrel kit, and we'll just go ahead and quickly install that to our pistol. There is a set of instructions with it. And you have a bag here with your wrench and adapters and a threaded barrel. This is a nitride coated barrel, just like your factory original. So first thing we will do is turn our slide upside down. We'll insert the barrel as we normally would. We'll install the captured recoil spring by just pressing that in place against the flat as we normally would. And we can go ahead and reassemble our pistol. We will lock it back, press down on the barrel, rotate the disassembly latch, and press that in. Okay. Now we can close it up, and what we will do next is we will install the bushing. This is what's required in order to be able to convert this M10 metric thread to a 1/2 28 standard thread. So we'll simply screw that on finger tight, and then we will use the included wrench. Don't use any other wrenches or cheater bars. If you put too much tension on this, of course, you can damage the threads. And we'll just get that on there nice and tight, and that's it. We don't want to force it too much. Now there is a thread protector cap with this that you can use. We're going to go ahead and leave the thread protector aside because we're going to talk about suppressors next. The next thing that you'll notice on this, of course, is that I have an optic mounted. This one uses the Ruger accessory optic adapter mounting plate, and it's the J-point pattern. The J-point, the shield, and others of that nature tend to be very lightweight. This one is a polymer unit from Crimson Trace. It weighs next to nothing. But what it does is it raises your sight plane a little bit higher, which helps you to see over the top of the suppressors or muzzle devices that you might be using with this pistol. So that's a nice accessory to have if you're going to shoot suppressed. Now with suppressors, there are a couple of options that will work with this pistol. Starting off with the direct thread rimfire type. So this is a Ruger silencer. This is rated for 22. And up to 22 Magnum, 17 HMR, and it is rated for 5.7 by 28. That's because it uses a sealed stainless steel baffle stack. Don't use any rimfire suppressor unless it's specifically rated by the manufacturer to be able to handle the pressures of 5.7 by 28. The 5.7 has about 10 times the gas volume of a 22, so it needs to be able to handle that. Not all of them can. Refer to the instructions to make sure that yours would be safe for use with this pistol. Another example is this Artemis from X2 Dev Group. This one is also 5.7 by 28 rated because it uses a flow-through type design. It has some complex geometry inside that moves the gases along, that helps to reduce back pressure and helps it to perform well. So your rimfire type suppressors, remember, are designed for rimfire. So those are going to tend to be a little bit noisy with the 5.7, and they are also going to have generally more back pressure, and it's going to get dirtier faster. So they will work, but they're not optimal. A better solution is to use a centerfire pistol suppressor. This one is an example here. This is the Omega 9K from Silencer Co. And it's a 9mm direct thread suppressor. Generally it's intended for carbines, but it's a pretty lightweight unit. It only weighs about an ounce more than the Ruger silencer. This will work well because it gives you more gas volume. It also has, a larger exit hole here, a larger bore, and so a little bit more gas is going to escape. It's not going to be as quiet as it might be with 9mm, but it will work well. Another type of centerfire pistol suppressor is like this rugged obsidian here. Now there's a lot of others in this class. that are configurable. You can use these in different lengths. As you add length, it gets heavier, but it also has better performance in terms of suppression. So you have to balance those things out. As the suppressors get heavier, you may start to have some function issues. The important thing to remember with centerfire pistol suppressors is that if your suppressor has what's called a Neilson device or a booster, such as this one here, that has to be removed. If you use this in conjunction with the Ruger-57 pistol, you will cause damage to the pistol. The boosters are nice if you're using a tilting barrel type firearm, but the Ruger-57 is a delayed blowback and it does not use the booster. So you'll have to remove that and either use the direct thread adapter or you can use the locking adapter, and that will allow you to use your centerfire pistol suppressor with the Ruger-57 pistol. Finally, you could actually use a 223 or 5.56 rifle suppressor. Now these work very well. They've got tremendous gas volume here, but the majority of them are heavy, over 16 ounces. When you put that much weight on the end of the barrel, you're guaranteed to have cycling issues. So they'll work, they'll be quiet, but the ones that are toward the heavier end will end up being a single shot. It won't function in semi-automatic with a very heavy suppressor. So those are a couple of options. Other things to keep in mind in order to keep it running smoothly is to keep it clean. So every couple of magazines, you'll probably want to clean the chamber. You can use a 30 caliber brush that works really well in the chamber, or a 270 caliber brush will do really well in the throat of the chamber. I would use that with a good solvent and make sure you're really scrubbing out the chamber, and then you want to remove any oil or solvent. You want a dry chamber when you're done. So you'll finish up with a swab or a patch just to get that extra clean. Then you can go ahead and reassemble and continue firing. A couple of other things to keep in mind is hearing protection. So even though some suppressors may be considered ear safe or hearing safe, remember that's for one shot. Multiple shots, if you're firing a magazine or so, or over the course of the day, that kind of damage can be cumulative. So you want to still use hearing protection even if you're shooting suppressed with the Ruger-57 pistol. And finally, a good set of leather gloves, because you want to make sure and keep these suppressors on tight to avoid baffle strikes. So again, every magazine or two, you'll want to check the suppressor tightness, and you'll want to do that unloaded, magazine out, chamber open, and again, hands away from the muzzle, and just make sure that suppressor stays on tight. Finally, ammunition. You'll want to stick with the 40 grain ammunition that's full powered. 27 grain ammunition is really fast. It works really well with the pistol unsuppressed. But once you add the weight of an optic to the slide and you add the weight of a suppressor to the barrel, the mass of the ammunition isn't always enough to cycle the slide reliably. So you'll want a full powered 40 grain ammunition will be most reliable in this combination. With the Ruger-57 accessory threaded barrel kit, you'll have to see what combination works best for you with your ammunition, your firearm, your suppressor, your optic. Find the right combination. As you're doing so, remember, always keep safety in mind. Keep ammunition out of your workspace when you're working on a firearm. Thank you for watching this tech tip on the Ruger-57 accessory threaded barrel.